Cheer. You know what time it is, my brothers and sisters. As always, I am surrounded by a collage of consciousness. You know what time it is. Truth blazing. Come on. Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, Lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth and development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind in the sun and rise.
Check it, listen, coming through, call your bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimals, mathematical root radicals. So we see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
Just levitate, levitate, keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Shed these lies.
Polished, cottage, wattage, introducing lowercase God body, natural Nathan, representing Sunz of light. Introducing lowercase God body, natural Nathan, representing Sunz of light. God, believe in God, believe in God, believe in God.
Yeah. Introducing lowercase God body, natural Nathan, representing Sunz of light. Intricate lyricism, just kicking, just kicking. Promise, paying homage to Mother, Father, honor. As above, so below, as below, so above. Show love to the flow, which is gold. So what you waiting for? Take your face off the floor, walk through the door, soar like you're born, children of the Most High. So get fly. Alright, my brothers and sisters, here we go again. Barak Shalom, and welcome to another Live Blaze broadcast, brought to you by your brother, your solar sovereign son, the radiant one, supreme natural intelligence, intelligent genes, intelligenetics. Okay, everybody, today we have a powerful message, short but spicy. So listen to the seasonings that I'm about to deliver to you with a little stutter, like a mailman. Just like I said in my rap, I'm just kicking, huh? But anyways, you see the title. You see the title. The symbol of a slave and the symbol of a sovereign. So listen closely. Listen razor sharply. Listening is an art and skill that must be mastered, my brothers and sisters. So let us use the Freemasonry knowledge and let us break this down. Just check something. Alright. So listen when you break it down, right? I'm still being heard, right? Everything's still being heard. Just check something. So when you break down listen, you got to separate the words because they're made up of singular words. This is the art of masonry when you break it down through the spells of the English language. List, in. In is listening from within, or enter, depending on how you play with the words. So it's listening from within. List, enter. Enter a list. Taking notes, in other words. That's how you deconstruct and build. Because both polarities are two sides of the same coin. You cannot create without destroying. You can't destroy. You need to destroy to create sometimes. And in order for you to create, you got to destroy. However formation you take, whether you're adjusting, whether you're reworking, that's a form of destruction. They both have to exist together. That's polarity. That's one of the laws of the universe. The 7 principles of the universe. Polarity. So keep that in mind. So let's get to the major point, the major key of this lesson for today. The symbol of a slave and the symbol of a sovereign. Words to the wise. A shaved head is a slave head. Did you hear me? A shaved head is a slave head. Be seasoned and spiced in that fire of truth. Let that marinate in every cell in your body. A shaved head is a slave head. Are you catching on?
Go have the Israelite mind.
A shaved head is a slave head. Hey Nathan, why do you say that? Hey Supreme, why do you say that? Analyze history. Look at our story. What do conquerors do? They go to someone else's land, crush the people there through their strategies and tactics, through their deception, their misdirection and distraction, pretend to befriend them, then they turn on them, and then they conquer them. And what do they do to conquer them? You know the obvious. When they defeated them, they bound them in chains. They killed the strongest warriors, bound the rest in chains, gathered all the wise men and women, killed a lot of them, took their records, and bound the rest of the people in chains, put them in cages, cut off their hair. Did you hear me? Cut off their hair. Why did they cut the hair off? Hair is the extension of the brain. It's an extension of your nervous system. Be marinated in that. Be seasoned and spiced in that truth. A shaved head is a slave head. What else do they do? Psychological sorcery. Manipulation. The conquerors destroyed the people's knowledge of self. And how do they do that? A shaved head is a slave head. Hey Nathan, if I cut my hair, I'm not going to lose my consciousness. Yes, you do. You just don't realize it yet. They're your antennas. If you damage your antennas in your router, is the router going to function as swiftly and move as fastly as it does when it's collecting data, gathering intelligence, transmitting and receiving? Is the router going to operate as good as when it had its full antennas? You know the answer. It's obvious, no. The router could still do the same things, but not as well because the antennas have been cut short. So it cannot receive the supreme consciousness from the source of the divine, the great vine, which is derived from the roots and the source, the essence. That is the organic internet mainframe. A shaved head is a slave head. So now you're getting it. That's the first phase in destroying a people's knowledge of self, is by shaving their head. Taking away their information, their knowledge of self, is the first phase in how to destroy a people, and that's what conquerors do. Obviously bind them in chains, put them in the cage, and shave their head. and then use psychological sorcery to deprogram them from their knowledge of self even more, reprogram them with the conqueror. Conqueror gives them what they were, what they are, and what they are, what they were and what they are. They they instill information, meaning they go inside your mind, change the form and shape, which is an action, because when you do the masonry work again, information. Inside, in, form is shaping, molding, ation is action. So psychological sorcery. They go to the source of your mind through the knowledge and information that you have about yourself, knowledge of self, and they destroy that incrementally until you lose it altogether. And like I mentioned earlier, most of the wise men are killed off. Some of them are used to get more information extracted, and then the conquerors take that information as their own to better their own lives over the long run. So we're getting back again to the start. A shaved head is a slave head. But what does modern culture practice today? Shaving your head, right? You go to work for somebody, shaving your head. That's proper professionalism, right? Oh, I gotta look professional. I gotta groom up. There's nothing wrong with grooming and shaping up your hair, but there's a problem when you remove your hair. Remove a lot of it is a problem. Nothing wrong with doing a little maintenance and sharpening and grooming. That's fine. But when you do the shaved head, completely get rid of a lot of your head, you're destroying your intelligence, you're destroying your consciousness. However, at the end of the day, even when you are grooming your hair and you're doing a little short, you're still destroying a bit of it. Because there's a reason why your hair keeps growing on your head. Because it's an extension of your brain, extension of your consciousness. Your brain is not your consciousness alone. Every cell in your body is a consciousness. However, the most powerful part that tends to grow the most hair is your head, because that is the zenith, the highest point of your body. The highest point of the body is the best place to put the longest antennas. You got to use common sense, brothers and sisters. Let nature be your guide. You got to understand how life works. This is not dead like they tell you. This has a purpose. It's antennas. These are antennas. That's the very reason why it grows long. It's a transmitter. It sends and receives information from the environment. And we know that energy contains information. It contains intelligence. That is why when you're around people with certain energies, you feel a certain way around them. Oh, this person I feel like this person is not good. I shouldn't hang around this people. Oh, this guy has a good heart. He has a good vibe. Where do you think you're getting that information from? You are connecting that energy based off your resonance of the energy that the person is emanating to you. That is why when you cut your antennas short, a shaved head is a slave head. When you do the living biochemistry on how your body works, your hair is an extension of your nervous system. It has a purpose. It's there to take in information, send out information. And when you get to higher levels of your abilities, extend your abilities, ESP, extrasensory perception. When you grow that ability, you're able to use psychic, all those different plus senses beyond the five plus senses you're able to use. Telepathy, all of that is going to eventually come out of you when you unlock your DNA. They call it junk DNA, right? It's not junk. It's just locked and encrypted until you grow and develop. Because life is all about growing and developing. You must receive the light to decrypt the codes that are locked down within your DNA. Life is about growth and development. It's all about collecting the light. Light is synonymous with knowledge and wisdom, intelligence. You see the collage of consciousness all around me. You're not going to see anybody up here any more powerful than what you see here. When it comes to awakening, I'm at the Grandmaster level, Supreme Grandmaster level, because look at this. No one has this. I'm breaking down words to let you know how I see things through supreme intelligence and access. I'm not just saying words for you in colloquial speech. I'm letting you know how it's constructed, how I see it and how it's constructed, to let you know a deeper meaning behind them and why it is set up the way it is. So obviously, we're moving on to the next point, which is obvious now. If you do the simple subtraction and addition, you know what a sovereign symbol is all about. You just found what the symbol of a slave is. A symbol of a slave is a shaved head. A symbol of a sovereign, a god, is what? A head full of life stands as sovereign. Did you hear me? A head full of life stands as sovereign. A head full of life stands as sovereign.
What? Slow motion this side.
So when your head is full of hair, regardless of what you think, because you've been programmed to think, oh, that's wild. Oh, that's too wild. That's too barbaric looking. Too all that stuff that these Europeans like to say. No. There's a reason why you have it on your head. Nothing wrong with grooming it and shaping it up nice. Not wrong with that. I'm not saying to make your hair wild and just let it do whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying allow your hair to allow some hair in your head. You should be having hair in your head because that's your antennas. I'm not telling you to go wild and look like a wild beast and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you shave your head, you remove your antennas, you suppress your intelligence, you suppress your consciousness. You numb and dumb yourself down like you do drinking alcohol, which you suppress your consciousness. When you're taking psychedelics and drugs, some of them you suppress your consciousness. Some of them you kind of expand your consciousness temporarily until eventually you start becoming laid back, not wanting to do nothing. Because you're abusing it and you're not doing those acts in proper ritual. So you could actually get the benefits out of it, the full benefits out of it for growth and development. So the symbol of a slave is a shaven head. A shaved head is a slave head. A head full of life stands as sovereign. So let us get back to the Freemasonry again with words. Symbology. This is what real wise men and wise women do. Wise men are always listening, observing, and taking notes, right? They're always listening, observing, and asking questions. So the highlight point I want you to take from this, highlight point is asking. Asking simply means, when you break it down in the Freemasonry, building and destroying, right? Deconstructing and constructing. Asking is the most intelligent thing you could ever do in life. Asking questions. Why? Asking means you stand as king. Did you catch that? As king. Separate the words. As king. Are you getting it? So whoever's asking the questions is the king, is the sovereign. The most powerful thing you can do on this planet is ask questions. Whoever asks the most questions controls the conversation and gathers the most info, intelligence. Therefore, they're raising their Lumen consciousness of life. Whoever's yapping the most, whoever's yapping the most and not listening, is the most foolish one there, is the dumbest one there. Because they don't take time to listen, they don't take time to observe. They get caught up in their emotions. They get caught up in distractions, misdirections. And this is the masses. They can't sit more than 2 to 5 minutes watching a video for their education a lot of times. Unless they go to school and pay a lot of money for it. So they're kind of forced to do it because they paid to get this education so they could do better in life. That's the only time they're willing to do it. But when they're doing it on their own, for continued growth and development, they want to do things, they want to do all the fun things alone, which are not necessarily for your growth and development, not for your growth and development in most cases. So now you're learning what Freemasonry really is, and we're in that series already. And I'm just adding on to the construction build. Break it down, Supreme! Break it down! So the symbol of a slave is a shaved head. A shaved head is a slave head. A head full of life, full of hair, stands as sovereign. Furthermore, a person, a percentage of the sun, a person who's asking questions stands as the king, simply because if you ask questions, you are gathering the most information and intelligence from people, places, and things. When you listen, enter a list within, and also physically as well if you would like, to further fortify it. You are collecting the information to grow and develop, because life is about growth and development. Life is about equal standing one another, understanding one another, understanding one another, learning from one another, overstanding one another. Be marinated. Be seasoned and spiced in the fire of truth. So when I have my power picture presentation right beside me, this is complementing my message. It's giving addition to my message. It's multiplying the power of my message. As you can see right here, I'm brainwashing you, washing your brain clean from ignorance. And I'm putting a revolutionary energy within you so you could rise to the highest point of truth. The highest point, the zenith of truth, the pinnacle of truth, is the sun and the moon, which leads you to the truth. The sun is the most powerful element that provides the supreme intelligence on the planet. And that intelligence has information that produces, generates, manufactures variety of life. It creates all of the elements on the planet. Why do you think I call myself the solar sovereign sun, the radiant one? Supreme natural intelligence. Because you got to access the source. Get back to the roots, get back to the essence, the organic infinite mainframe of mighty nature, which is the manifestation of the Most High Power, which the Most High Power is everything in totality. The scriptures teach us in Romans that the Most High is within Almighty Nature. So your guide should be nature. The Most High is an embodiment of everything. The Creator, the architect of the universe is an embodiment of everything. Everything that you see within life and creation is a fragment, is a partition of the Most High God, architect, the Creator, the supreme radical energy that is infinite, eternal, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, everywhere at all times, all-powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing. That is radical energy in its unbound formation. What is sacred geometry? Sacred geometry is energy in a bound, mathematical, systematic, functional formation. Hey Nathan, what are you talking about? You're speaking complicated now. I think you need to calm down on your supreme intelligence. Break it down. Everything, when we get back to the all, when the all goes back to the one is blackness. Blackness is everything in unity. When we get back to the oneness, it's the blackness. Blackness is the unity of all things. All color spectrums, when they come together in synchronicity, peace, harmony, synergy, unison, it forms black. That's the highest level of energy. That's the dimension. That's the world, the supreme world of infinite eternal potential. That is a world of nothing. Hey Nathan, you're confusing. How can you say it's nothing? The confusion resides in the people not knowing what nothing is. Nothing is actually everything. Huh? What did you say, Nathan? What did you say, Supreme? Nothing is actually everything. So let me break it down and make it clear for you. Nothing is everything, every potential in life. Every potential, thought of or not even imagined, is in the blackness. All possibilities, all angles of light, angels, angles of light. Freemasonry building, construction building. It's cipher. Life is a cipher of life. It's a cipher of life. Eternity is 2 zeros, higher frequency and lower frequency. That's why the symbol of infinity is an 8, because there's higher frequency, lower frequency. There are polarities, different energy polarities. It's showing you the duality in life. There's always going to be duality, no matter what. When you reach your completion, you complete the duality and make it one. So the way we view things in this realm as duality, eventually that's all going to be skewed into neutrality, neutralism, neutrality. So it'll be embodied in one. But at the end of the day, when you do the separation, there's still duality exists. People like to say, oh, when you get to higher dimension duality, there is no duality. There is duality. You're just embodying it all. Because you're in a higher consciousness, you're in a higher being form. When you get to that state, which is so far away that it'll take a very long time to reach. But anyhow, when I say nothing is everything, all possibilities, all ways of life, all potentials, all variations, all varieties, all diversities in one. Nothing is everything unseen, undiscernible. Did you hear me? Nothing is everything unseen and undiscernible. The only way to make that possibility, that potential, perceivable in our current being formation is through the white light. The white light causes division to make things comprehensible, understandable, understandable. The white light through the crystal prism creates the separation of the color spectrums, which creates the division and the competition between different varieties of life. And that's what we're living in right now. It's called the holographic world, the holographic dimension. We are living in a universe which is one possibility of an infinity. There are many parallel worlds, many parallel dimensions. We're living in a possibility of one of them right now. Be marinated, be seasoned and spiced in that fire of truth. I've taught this. Blackness is the unity of everything. Whiteness is the separation of everything. So what is sacred geometry? Sacred geometry is rooted in the organization or the division. Because in blackness we cannot see sacred geometry because everything is moving as one. So when the one forms the all for one is the source. All goes back to the one, that's the source, that's the root of everything. So when the one goes to the all, that forms the division, the variation, the diversity, which we're living in right now, the holographic universe, the holographic dimension, world. It's a world within many worlds. We're in a world within many worlds. A dimension within many dimensions. When we get back to the oneness, that is the supreme dimension. That is infinite, ever expansive, and eternal. There's no end in time. Eternity is dealing with time span. Infinity is dealing with size, which is never ending. Eternity is time, which is never ending. So in order for us to comprehend this more easily, the white light projects the potential that's within the blackness. And shrinks the potential into separate worlds, separate dimensions, so we could see how the larger dimension works, the source works. That's why there's a law of correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. Everything within you is a reflection of everything outside of you. Everything below you is a reflection of everything above. Everything above is a reflection, projection, is a projection, reflection, and deflection. 3 words, because there's polarity, there's opposites. Projection, reflection, and deflection. Everything above, below, below, above, in, out, in, is all connected. And they use higher energies, lower energies. And the division is where sacred geometry comes in. That's where shapes, patterns, and rhythms, which are the codes of supreme mathematics. It's the codes, it's the art, it's the high life sciences, light sciences of the supreme architect, the most high power, which is partition and breaking themselves into pieces to experience life subjectively in a perspective and perception directly. That's what this life is about. Life is a test. It's an experiment. This is high science, life science. This is Freemasonry knowledge. A lot of you think, why does evil exist? Why is there good and evil? It simply exists. Opposites simply exist to enforce progress in life, growth and development. That's the only reason. If you're always at peace all the time, there's going to be no growth. You're just going to be like relaxing, enjoying, but you're not going to be progressing. Progression cannot take place expansion cannot take place if you're not growing and developing. So that's why it says in scriptures, there's a time, place, and season for all things. Ecclesiastes 3. And another scripture says, one of the other scriptures says, the Most High created good and evil. Because the Most High is a combination of both. It's the Most High totality of everything. So this world, this dimension is a stage. It's a test. It's an experiment to spark your consciousness, to elevate, to experience the lower energies and rise to the higher energies. The Most High is the embodiment of all of this, but however, the Most High cannot experience all of this in its limitation, in its subjectivity, because the Most High stands in supreme truth. It doesn't know anything else but supreme truth because it's embodiment of everything. So in order for the Most High to experience other ways of viewing perceptions and views based on limitation, based on competition, based on individuality, this is what life is. We are fragments. We are partitions of the Most High in the different angles of light within the cipher of life. This is why there's opposites. This is why there's different point of views. However, ultimately, the absolute truth is you have to embody all of the cipher of life to get back to the supreme Most High state. And go above good and evil, above gender, above polarities. That's what this whole thing is about. And that's why you're seeing the reprobateness and the corruption in certain lifestyles on the planet. You see the secret rituals that some people do. They're doing all these weird, crazy rituals. That's in corruption. But they have a basic understanding that they have to be the embodiment of all information in life, because that's how you get back to supreme godhood. Because it's an embodiment of everything. So some things are going to be skewed and turn corrupt. It's part of life. Because you have to have opposites for growth and development. You cannot move without having two opposing anchors on your body or levers on your body. When you take, for example, how you move with your mechanical movement of your body, you cannot walk forward without having one leg going in the front, one leg in the back. That's opposites. That's polarity. And your arms do the same thing. And your body does the same thing. And then when you want to move the other half forward, then you got to switch, do the opposite. And then you end up moving forward. That's how energy moves. Spirals. So getting back to a shaved head is a slave head. You are dimming your consciousness, you're dimming, suppressing, dampening your supreme intelligence by cutting your coils. The more tightly a coil is, your kinks, your helixes, spirals, curliness, the greater the transmission, sending and receiving information, intelligence, connecting with the source, the greater your connection to the sources. Same thing with your internet connection when you're talking about the artificial technology, which is a projection, a reflection of the organic technology, of life, of the life sciences, high science on the planet. The internet is a combination of computers sending their phallus to one another and connecting to the womb, the Ethernet port, because life is sex, sacred energy exchange. You notice that even when you have power, what is your power? The wire is your phallus, the penis. And what is the wall? Feminine energy, the womb, vagina, click in. Then all of a sudden there's sparking of energy, electromagnetism to make things move. That's how life works. It's right in front of your face. This is what they don't want the masses to realize. Get the likes up, brothers and sisters. Get it up. It doesn't make any sense while we only have 3 likes. We got 9 cats watching in the building. 9 brothers and sisters, whatever, I don't know the gender, but however, we got 9 people in the building, in the Sanctuary of Fire Truth. Why do we only got 3? It doesn't make any sense. You're getting the supreme intelligence, the supreme knowledge, for free. In fact, it's not necessarily free. You got to take time to study and marinate, and you got to be your own scientist and go into nature and study. I say get your ass back to nature for a reason. You need to study. And the study doesn't necessarily mean you go read books. Where do you think those books came from? Studying nature. Books are just a shortcut to get access to the information faster. That's all it is. But ultimately, the books came from nature. From studying nature, being a scientist of observing, listening, taking notes, gathering information, gathering intelligence from observing nature, seeing how it works. And then somebody wrote the stuff in the book. You put too much value in books thinking you need book. No, book just accelerates the process of giving information. However, you cannot rely exclusively on books, because each person, when they write their book, they might have an agenda. They might have nothing wrong with agendas, but a lot of people like to control information and have their view on information. That's why you gotta gather the pieces of puzzles around the world to get the complete holistic truth. And the best thing you can do is to experience for yourself. Go get the information for yourself, getting back to the organic internet mainframe. And you do your own investigation. You do your own listening. You do your own by taking your notes. Be marinated, be seasoned and spiced in that fire of truth. I told you there was gonna be a hot cooking today. We're pretty much done. So is there any questions as it pertains to this information today? Any questions? This is what it's all about. Knowledge of self. See that bald head? It's more symbology again. I just told you a shaved head is a slave head. So the slaves have to grow their hair back out, look within to get the knowledge back, because they've been psychologically manipulated, and that information knowledge has been taken away. People have been turned into sheep. You need to get back to being a lion. And you need to get rid of negative people that are ignorant. Shaved head people. Hey Nathan, Buddhist monks have a shaved head. Ignorance. And they still have a high intelligence and still have ignorance. You don't understand the symbology. The reason why Buddhist monks shave their head is because they're unlearning the ignorance they have learned. They're getting rid of their old life. They're learning to be students again. They're getting rid of their arrogance and their pride. They're getting rid of all that. And they're learning under a master. However, usually, what is a master? The master in the Buddhist monks usually, or should, they usually and should have head full of hair and a long beard. Because what does hair represent? Wisdom, intelligence, mastery. When you shave your head bald, you're becoming a baby again. As you gather information, hair grows. You mature. You gain more knowledge and wisdom. You do the right things in life for your growth and development. So now that you understand the whole purpose of why Buddhists shave their head, they shave it to relearn again, to become a baby again, to start from scratch, start from the beginning. However, ultimately, you want to get your hair back and you want to maximize it because that is your consciousness. So the symbology of cutting your hair is removing your old dogma, your old information, starting from fresh, and listening to someone who has the highest mastery of life, which is going to be the highest guy in the temple, which is the master, the Shisho, the Sifu, the Sensei. Whatever martial art we're talking about in the ancient days when he went to the temples. The masters that usually knew the most information and intelligence of life and how it works usually had long beards and hair in the head. Long hair. Because it's a symbol of wisdom, knowledge, and intelligence. And it's the symbol of the crown. I've already told you, it's a symbol of crown, which is sovereignship, kingship. A head full of life, hair, light, stands as a sovereign. A shaved head is a slave head. In other words, instead of slave, let's interchange slave, student, subject. You're in a state of understanding, meaning you're standing under somebody. Freemasonry, deconstruction, construction again. What is understanding? Hey Nathan, it just means to comprehend. It means to get what the person is saying, grasp what the person is saying. No, that's a surface. The reality of what understand is, it means you're standing under somebody because you need to learn about life. That's what it is. Nothing wrong with being an understanding as long as it's in its proper time and season. You should always be in a state of understanding in life to some level and degree. But life is about growth and development. So you got to grow that understanding into inner standing, equal standing, overstanding, which is the highest level of comprehension, is overstanding. That's mastery. Life is about growth and development. You want to come out of understanding. You want to get to inner standing. You want to come to equal standing. You want to come to overstanding. And outer standing when we're going to the cosmos. Understanding how the outside of this realm works, outside of this earth works. Freemasonry building, construction, deconstruction building. This is what a pure Freemason does. This is what the pure Illuminati do. All this knowledge of high science is just encrypted. But ultimately, this is what it is. This is a part of what the 360-degree knowledge is. There's 33 degrees in Freemasonry, but the degrees is far greater than that. Life is a cipher. First of all, there's 2 ciphers of life. Infinity's 8. So that's 720 degrees. 360. Numerology science. 3 plus 6 is what? 9. 9 is a symbol of completion, elevation, the highest point of energy, the highest point of intelligence. 9 is Nupu. Scientific life. Supreme intelligence. 6 is scientific death. It's the fall. Supreme ignorance. Another way you can look at it is polarity. Higher energy, lower energy. There's different ways to look at this polarity, these complements. You can't have one without the other. There's always going to be opposites. So this world, at least the European mentality and their intelligence, is dealing with 6 ether intelligence. This is why they see the world in separation, division, and subjects. They like to dissect everything. That's kind of like the 6 ether energy. 9 ether energy sees everything as one. It's holistic science. There is no separation in the 9 ether energies, the 9 supreme intelligence energies. No separation. Everything is actually, in reality, the true colors of it is everything is one. That is why Africans, when they deal with their sciences, they look at everything as being connected. They don't separate anything to such a sharp degree as Europeans do. They like separate everything, dissect everything. There's a good and a bad way to that. They both have their benefits. But ultimately, you have to understand that everything is connected, that everything is actually one within the cipher of life. That's the fire of truth. And nothing but the whole, living, unified truth. My brothers and sisters, until next time, awaken your mind and get your behind back to the organic internet mainframe of Almighty Nature, which is the collective consciousness, the unified field of the divine, the great vine, derived from the vine, in which you get your true information, knowledge, wisdom, and intelligence from. Listen to reason and listen to wisdom. Brother Ahmed says, warrior training needed. Men, woman, and children. Men, woman, and children is 3. Man, woman produces offspring. So 3 represents production, generation, fruition, manifestation, continuity. 369, Tesla said to understand the universe, right? Now you know why he said 369. It takes 2 to produce, generate. You have to have at least 2 to produce and generate properly, holistically. And then you produce offsprings. That's why you get 3. That's why 3 is a powerful number. Because it represents generation, production, manufacturing. 6 is dealing with the lower energies of life. 9 is dealing with the higher energies of life, to keep it simple. King Leon X, I see you, it's poppin'. Yep, definitely a Fireblaze message for today. You see the power picture presentation. The collage of consciousness is all around me. Symbols all around me. Images all around me. Pictures all around me. Are you Illuminati, Natural Nathan? Are you a Freemason? What does it mean to be Illuminati? To shine the knowledge within you. That's the true purpose and essence of Illuminati. To shine knowledge and wisdom within you so you can ever expound yourself, become better. Masonry is about building, understanding the construction work of life. Illuminati is about filling yourself with knowledge and wisdom of how life works. Masonry is about constructing and deconstruction of the architectural life sciences. You really don't know what's going on, and I'm telling you what it really is about. Yes, we have corrupt people operating in those secret societies, of course, because there's polarity, right? You have to have opposites. You're gonna have people that are good in those societies, and you're gonna have people that have the opposite intentions in those societies. However, ultimately, they all come together on certain things to make their world better. But they each have their individual agenda, according to their polarity, according to their energy. Listen to reason. Real sun, rays from the sun, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and supreme intelligence. That information that is going to bring you transformation. Sheesh. Anyways, brothers and sisters, enjoy the rest of your day. Always remember. You see that? Always remember this. United we stand stronger. Together we rise higher. So you know what time it is. Let's wake up the masses by preaching, teaching, and reaching them with the fire of truth. Always. All day, every day. My brothers and sisters. So let me put this to a close, man. Since there's no questions. So it looks like some people have some discipline and have some heart to listen. People seem like they're listening. As you should, because I told you, a wise person is the one who shuts their mouth, takes the time to listen all the way from the beginning to the end, and not just have a reckless mind wanting to come and debate. No, that's a sign of a fool. Shut your mouth, listen to the whole thing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people watching. I'm just making a point. A real wise man learns to shut the mouth, close mouth, listen completely to what a person is saying, a person, place, or thing is saying. First, from beginning to end, without interrupting, without bringing so much opposition. Wait till you comprehend what the person's saying. And if you don't understand something, what do? Ask questions. Questions are the master key to clarification, to understanding, equal standing one another. Questions are the major key, the master key, to clarification, to equal standing one another. Be marinated in those seasonings and spices of the fire of truth. I don't just come with supreme intelligence, call myself supreme natural intelligence for no reason. There's a reason for it, and I'm showing and proving. I'm not nobody. I'm nobody, but I'm somebody. Who's this guy? What education do you have? What school do you go to? That don't mean nothing. You worry about the knowledge you're listening to. That's what you worry about. Who's this guy with locks on his head? What does this guy know? He's just some black man. What does he know? He doesn't know nothing. Black folks are the original people on the planet who created mathematics, sciences. Do your history, do your research. Where do you think the European got all the knowledge from? Original people on the planet were black folks. These other races came later. However, ultimately, we got to learn to respect one another because, as it says above, agree to disagree. However, come together when we come together for the better of the planet. We need to come together for the better of us all, the better of the planet. We're not going to agree on everything. And we're not meant to agree on everything because what? What is life? A cipher of life. Everybody's at a different angle of light. Some people have a wider spectrum of light that can embody the whole cipher of life, like myself. I'm capable of embodying everything and overstanding everything. I'm growing every day. I'm elevating every day. I'm getting to that ever-expansive, embodying everything. Always continue to grow, elevate. As I gain more knowledge through the Supreme Intelligence, as I gain access, getting more knowledge, my cipher life is complete, is becoming complete and moving to completion. It's always rising. But majority of people like to stay in their little spectrum, in their partitions, their fragments. No, you got to come out of that and you got to expand and walk the righteous path, the middle path. Life is about intellectual balance, the middle path, the narrow way to life. Balance the polarities. Broadway destruction is chaos. The big, large path where the masses are, the crowd is, that's destruction because it's chaos. Everybody's doing their own thing and moving on that path, moving all over, everywhere. Everybody's doing their own thing. Imagine if everybody came together with one mind and one chord for the better of the earth, the better of everybody. How much more production on this planet would be? How much more fruitful the planet would be if everybody came together, one mind, one accord. Put your way of thinking to the side for a moment. Let's come together with information and knowledge that's going to benefit everybody. instead of fighting over petty things. When ultimately you got to gather the pieces of the puzzle around the world and put it to one picture. Because that is the truth. The truth is absolute above all things. Everybody has their personal truths, but little you only got pieces of truth. Your personal truth is only a piece of truth. You want to get to the whole truth, the complete picture of truth, not pieces of subjective truth. You want to get to objective truth, which is absolute truth. Some of you lie to yourself with your little piece of truth. Oh, it's my truth. Not necessarily it's your truth. Is it, if it's really your truth? Is it really your truth? Or are you ignorantly programmed? Are you deceived with that truth? Because if you were really about getting to the truth, you would learn from everybody. Life is your teacher. We're in a constant state of learning. Facts. Truth blazing. Facts blazing. Facts being manufactured in the factory. Black Panther's always observing the environment, analyzing, looking, listening, before it makes moves. This is what fools do. Fools are quick to lose their emotions and get angry. That leads them to cutting themselves. The danger is cutting themselves. That's why you got to balance. The middle path, as Buddha says, or in the scriptures, Yahushua said, or Yeshaya said, Jesus Christ said, the narrow way to life. Buddha said the middle path, same thing. Follow the righteous path that will get you to the absolute truth, which embodies wisdom, experiencing things. Knowledge and wisdom combine, knowledge and experience combine as wisdom. Gathering information within your experience is the intelligence. And the knowledge is the right use of that information and intelligence. And knowing the best, most efficient, effective way to move in life is wisdom. Facts. Truth blazing. Facts blazing. Facts being manufactured in a factory. Anyways, enjoy, brothers and sisters. Peace. Tim Krebs, I see you, man. Where have you been, Tim Krebs? I see you, brother. This guy's slacker. But anyways, my brother Tim, we'll talk on FB if you like sometime. I'm about to put this to a conclusion because this lesson was supposed to be as brief as possible, and it was kind of a little bit extended more than I wanted to do, but you still got that information. You still got that fire of truth work. Peace, my brothers and sisters. Peace. So as always, get your behind back to the organic, get to the main frame of mighty nature. You see this? That's where you get your supreme intelligence. Peace.